Hey guys, this is Candy, and today's video I'm going to be showing you how I do individual crochet locks. And I'm just going ahead and making a cut. I call it a cut. You have different ways of parting the hair. You can do a box part, a triangle part, or a horseshoe cut. So that's what I'm doing for this. And because of the texture of her hair, I'm gonna go ahead and add just a tiny piece of hair just to reinforce the braid. And this is the first step to doing the individual lock. You have to braid the hair individually. So what I do is I do braid it for like an inch or maybe an inch and a half, and then I finish off with just a 2-strand twist. Two reasons. One, it's less time consuming to do it that way as opposed to doing the entire hair as a braid. And two, it's less time consuming because when she's about to take down her hair, it will be an absolute pain to have to remove, those small braids all over her head. So that's just what I'm doing now. And typically what I do is I start off with 4 braids in the back. That's just my go-to approach when I'm braiding hair. I usually put 4 braids in the very first row. So pretty much that's what I'm doing. And guys, could you just please pardon my stuffiness? I'm under the weather, but you know how it is. We have to do what we have to do. So, yeah, tolerate me, please. Yes. And this is where I start doing the twist. So you can go ahead and do an inch and then twist, or 1.5 inches and twist, whichever is more comfortable for you. And as you can see, I'm demonstrating the fact that the hair is not tight at all, so it's movable. And that's important when doing individual goddess locks. If you make the plaits super tight, then it's going to be, very uncomfortable for the client. So I've gone ahead and, done quite a bit. And now I'm just continuing almost to the middle of her head. I'm just showing you how you have to allow each braid to fall strategically in order for the hair to look full. And again, you guys, I do have a dedicated video that shows you how I braid in order to achieve a full looking braiding style. So I will try to link that below so that you guys can see that technique and get a better understanding as to how to achieve full looking braids. Alright, so now I'm about to start at the front. I'm actually at the side, and yes, using that piece of braiding hair to attach to her hair. And this is a very delicate process. If the client's hair is not as full in the front. You have to be careful not to use too small of a section of hair, because then that would put too much tension and pressure on their hair, which it's not a good thing at all. So I'm trying to as best as possible to still make big enough sections, even though the hairline is a bit sparse. Yes, and I'm all done, you guys. As you can see, the hair is looking pretty full, and it's going to be even fuller once the locks are added. And I'm using for today's style the Freetress Hippie lock in the length 20 inches, and it's somewhat like a goddess locks, but the lock itself is kind of wavy, and then it has some curls at the end. And this is an ombre look. TB27 is the color. And I just try to gather all of the hair in a ponytail just to get the hair out of the way while I work with one braid at a time. Alright, so now the moment of truth. I'm inserting the crochet tool, attaching the loop to the hook, pulling it through, attaching the end of her braid to the loop, and then pushing it through and pulling it just to make it firm and tight. And now what I have is two pieces of hair, one the lock and the other her braid. And now I'm just going ahead and just wrapping the lock around her braid. So for each time you wrap it around, you just use your finger to kind of open the lock a little bit, just so it hugs the braid and it totally covers and conceals the braid without it being detectable or without the braid peeking through the lock. And then I'm just kind of rolling it a little bit so that it's as tight as it can possibly be. All right, so lock number one, you guys. Yes. Alright, and again I'm inserting the crochet tool at the base of the braid. And guys, I insert the tool from right to left. That's very important, so that it falls exactly at the point where it is nice and undetectable when you start to wrap the lock around the hair. And as you can see, it looks like I'm twisting, but I'm actually using my hand to kind of somewhat open the lock and then wrap it around the braid. All right. Love it, love it, love it. And one of the beauty with crochet locks as opposed to individual handmade locks is that it is way lighter than if you were to create the locks, you know, with your hand. The crochet is a more convenient, a lighter option. And again, two pieces, one is the lock, one is her braid. And what I'm doing now is showing you a second method for attaching the lock to the hair. I'm doing the method where you insert the actual crochet tool inside of the lock all the way to the base of the locks, and you have to carefully do so because you do not want the crochet tool to prematurely, you know, exit the lock before it gets to the base. So I'm carefully pushing it all the way to the top. You see, it just exited prematurely. So you have to ensure that you get it back in and keep pushing. And now that it's at the base, voila, you attach her hair to the crochet tool, close the latch hook, and then you pull, and that will just pull her hair within the lock. Use your finger to grab it and just pull it down to conceal it within the lock. Yeah. So this is just a second option, you guys, and I prefer this option especially if the client's hair is super short. If the client hair is longer, then it is not, you know, that easy of a process, because then you have to be repeating this process multiple times. As you can see, I have to go ahead again because she still has a portion of hair outside of the lock, so I have to go ahead and insert the tool again and push it all the way up to the point where the hair is sticking out, and then attach it. Repeat the process, close the latch hook and pull it down, and voila. So it all depends on the client's hair, the length of the hair, and you know, the texture of the lock, because for some locks the hair is too tightly compacted to even insert the crochet tool within it. So it depends on also, you know, how the lock was created. And there you have, you see how full that is, you guys. It is super full. This hair is amazing. This hair is super nice. The curls at the end is super soft. It does not tangle at all, and I can tell you because I've worn this hair personally, so it's great. So I only have a small section in the front, and initially I am doing a middle part because that's how she plans to wear her hair for the most part. Of course, she can flip it any way she chooses, but you know, she asked for me to create a middle part, so that's what I'm doing. And again, I apologize for my voice. My voice. No, my voice. Anyway, so yeah, 2 pieces of hair, and I'm just kind of undoing the lock in order to wrap it around her braid, undoing, wrap. I'm just slowing it down a bit, because if it's not slowed down, then it just looks like I'm doing a regular twist, but I'm actually undoing the lock, like, you know, opening the lock a little bit and then wrapping it around so it hugs her hair and covers her braid totally. And for today's style, even though I showed you a second option, for the most part, this is what I chose to do, the wrapping around method, not the pulling through method. All right. And once more, make sure you insert the tool from the right to the left, from the right side of the braid to the left side of the braid, and then you pull the lock through, attach her hair to the hook and pull it through the loop, and then you start wrapping. And guys, as I always tell you guys, once you master a technique, then it's super easy, because it's just a matter of repetition. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. All right. Okay, so I'm pretty much on the finishing, and just for good measure, I have to show you one more time. After all, this is a tutorial. So you attach it, pull it through, attach her hair to the latch hook, and pull it to tighten. 2 pieces, wrap around, ensure that you're kind of loosening the lock before you hug it around her hair. And there you have it, you guys. I'm all done. You can see how nice and full her hair is. And of course, you know, have to condition her scalp to keep it healthy. And I'm using my own product line, Shine of Mine, by my brand One True Natural. And I'm just, you know, spraying that into her scalp just to make sure her scalp doesn't get dry and it stays in its healthiest state while wearing her braids. And of course, I'm going to leave the link to where you can order the oil if you would like to get your own. And why wouldn't you? Why would you not? All right, and of course, I'm also adding some mousse. This is by Cream of Nature, their argan oil mousse, and this just helps to smooth the hair and gives it a nice conditioned smooth look, and to just tame the curls and make them pop. there you have it. I absolutely love the texture of these locks. I love when locks are rustic and not too soft and not too shiny, and I think these are the perfect texture in order to achieve a realistic looking locks hairstyle. And of course, in natural lighting, you know, we had to take you outside for her 360. Yes, yes. And the hair is just, you know, swap to the side so that you can see the versatility. But this is typically how she will wear it, with a middle part. Look at that color, you guys. Look at the fullness. Awesome. Yes. Look. Very nice. Alright, so pretty much that is it, you guys. Thank you for watching another video, and be sure to stay tuned. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe for many other videos to come. Remember to like, share, and rate. Thank you for watching.